Hello everyone and welcome along. It's round 15 of the SRL PS4 World Championship and it takes us to Sepang, Malaysia with its high speed sweeping at middle sector corners and long straights and also very unforgiving weather. It promises to be a real challenge for the drivers. Alongside me tonight I've got Ash Dawson. Ash Dawson, he was here last week for Singapore and he joins us once again now for his second race in the commentary box. Ash, did you like what you seen last week?
Yes, I liked it very much last week. It was a fantastic race to watch, and I'm sure the crowd enjoyed it as well. All our viewers on Twitch and YouTube, sure they enjoyed it too. And hopefully tonight we put on just as good a show for them here at Malaysia.
Well, yes, it promises to be a fantastic weekend of action. Qualifying is just getting underway. The cars heading out onto the track as we speak. Very overcast skies as we look from our commentary box, and maybe, just maybe, the potential for some rain this afternoon. Before we go any further to the action on track, let's have a quick recap of the championship standings as we left the Singapore Grand Prix, and it couldn't be any tighter, could it? Ash Richardson is leading the way by one solitary point to Shamasi in second place. Pitmat on a resurgence. He's now third in the standings with 160 points, 12 points off the title lead, and still well in the hunt. He had no podiums whatsoever since the Canadian Grand Prix, which he won, and then he followed it up in Monza with a third place, and then in Singapore winning last time out. Is Pitmat returning to form as we hit the Asian races? He's third in the standings. Matt Meerkat sits in fourth, 20 points off the lead, still within a race victory, and you've got to say he's still in the championship hunt. Now, is Skeeven still in it? I mean, well, he needs to stop retiring from races. He's 53 points back. But Ash, do you think Skeeven still has a chance at 53 points back?
Oh, I'm not sure. It's going to be tough for him because he is over 50 points off the championship lead. But he's got a funny record of every race he's finished this year has been on the podium. Funny enough, I'm sure he would love that, but he'll want that to be relevant for more races. So hopefully for his sake tonight, whatever, he'll get it here in Malaysia, and he's just out on the track now, heading towards the last sector to start his first qualifying lap.
Well, Skeeven is fifth in the standings. Chris Johnson, he's not here tonight, and he is sixth in the standings. OTG is seventh. Daniel Roberts, eighth. Space Unicorn, ninth. And Red Matt is 10th in the standings. But yes, as you say, a lot of the cars heading out now onto their flying laps. We've got Chicken out there, we've got Looney, and as you say, we have got Skeeven as well, pushing hard. And what can he do as he heads round at the final corner and heading across the line to start a flying lap? Let's take a lap then, on board with the Ferrari of Skeeven around this fantastic Malaysian circuit. I don't know about you, Ash, but this is one of my favourite of the Herman Tilke racetracks. Do you like it?
Oh yes, I like it very much. I mean, the fast corners, it does make it difficult for some drivers to overtake, but during the race, when they get alongside each other, you don't know if it's going to be a clean pass or a wheel-to-wheel banging crash, especially from what the drivers go through. They've got very good skill there to hold up the cars here, because at some corners on this track, it will generate up to 3.5 natural Gs, and that can really affect the drivers sometimes, especially in the hot temperatures here in Malaysia.
Yeah, well, of course, as you say, the temperature's such a factor, and it's the humidity as well. It's like a simmering pot in the Malaysian circuit, and you know, it just simmers up around the racetrack, and you get incredible amounts of steam and humidity, and it just triggers massive thunderstorms, and the weather can really be a factor, whether it's really warm or chucking it down with rain. And yes, there's several overtaking opportunities on this racetrack. Down into the first corner is probably the best of them. You can also do it into the final turn, and maybe somewhere in the middle of the lap, the end of that second sector, Ash.
Yes, I certainly agree with you there, and as you were just talking about the weather, right involved with Ivan here, I've just seen the crowd have got their umbrellas out. I know there's no rain falling yet, but with the crowd having their umbrellas out, I'm sure it is starting to, you know, grip with a few raindrops in the sky. But the sky does look quite dark, and that's probably the main reason why all the drivers are now out on track. All 16 of tonight's races are out on track. Ticket 1990's crossed the line with 132.1 Ivan. He has almost crossed the line there. 131.6, brilliant lap there by the Ferrari driver. He's going to need to perform to the absolute max here in qualifying.
Well, there you go, Skeeven delivering very early on. That's actually a little bit of a change from what I've seen of him of late. I wasn't here in Singapore, I didn't know what he did in Singapore, but certainly in Belgium and in Italy he put himself on the back foot in qualifying by not getting a time on the board and ended up at the back of the grid on both occasions. He also did it in the ULC, but in that occasion, leaving his lap late, he got the pole and went on to win the ULC race. race. And of course, while we talk about the ULC, we might as well mention it. Tuesday night, the United League Championship will resume after missing out this week due to PSN issues. Tune in at 8:30 for the United League Championship, where Supreme Racing League and Skeven will be hoping to go one better and, or sorry, not one better, win again and go back-to-back in Bahrain. Be sure to tune into that one, all Supreme Racing League fans, and cheer them on Tuesday night. But yes, Skeven at the top of the moment. Pitmask on second, a 1:31.793. Chicken is in third. Ash Richardson fourth quickest, and Matt Meerkat fifth. Looney sixth, Redmat seventh, Shimasi only eighth at the moment, Julian ninth, and Cherry Tupai rounding out the top 10. So let's try and find some action on the racetrack. Who's out there near the end of the lap? We've got Cherry Tupai in the final sector of the lap. And actually I want to ask you, as he's just gone through the penultimate corner there, do you think that's one of the more trickiest corners, not only on the racetrack, but on the Formula 1 calendar, that penultimate turn?
Yes, I certainly do think it's one of the most difficult tracks. It's similar to some of the braking zones you get in Bahrain as well. Also at a hot temperature, funnily enough, so it's even harder to concentrate going into those, because what you're doing is you're braking and turning at the same time, and that can cause a huge amount of tyre wear as well, and it's difficult to control the car in them situations. Take your foot off the brake, yes, the car turns better, but you don't want to go too fast in there, or you end up straight in the wall, and that's not what you need at this crucial stage of the season.
Yeah, absolutely right, and of course you can take so many lines through that penultimate turn. It's going to be really interesting to see what the drivers choose to do. As I ride on board now with Tiger Car heading through the middle sector, stretching the Renault through there to the absolute limits of its aerodynamic capabilities, and he now goes through the double right-hander, using all the curb and more as he heads down towards the end of the second sector, braking very hard into this tricky hairpin. So easy to run wide, but Tiger Car on a mission at the moment, currently a 1:33.2, quite a distance away from the pole thus far, but the Renault driver heading down into the final part of the lap, just as we were talking about, left then right, sweeping down the hill, the back end wanting to step out, and now what's his line through here? Wide entry, and then get on the throttle nice and early, down the back straight. Yeah, it was great traction, wasn't it? So much momentum there, Tiger Car, as he heads down now towards the final turn to complete his lap. Currently 12th quickest. I would like, oh, he's coming in. It looked like a tidy lap there as well, and he chooses to come into the pits, so fair enough. That's up there.
I had his lap telemetry on my screen there, and he didn't look like he was going to get anywhere near pole position in that, so he probably made a mistake earlier on in the lap that we didn't quite catch there, Andy. But anyway, he's coming into the pits now. Going to talk to his engineer for me for a couple of minutes, and then maybe get back out there and go for a top 5 finish, for a top 5 start, at least, just as we've got 4 minutes left of qualifying to go. Hopefully, no rain's going to come down.
Well, at the moment the drivers have escaped any sort of rain. It actually looks a little bit brighter to me. There's a few breaks in the clouds, we'll see, but no sign of rain at the moment. And yeah, it looks as if they have rode that storm. It's very easy to dodge the storm. Sorry, very easy to hit one, very easy to dodge one around here. It's very localised, these thunderstorms. But a lot of cars, everyone nearly not on a lap at the moment. A few cars on out laps, a few cars in the pit. We've got Lamaro coming around the final corner to finish a flying lap. Currently 16th with no time on the board. He's just about to start one, sorry. So he's the only man on a quick one at the moment. The Sauber driver heading down towards turn 1. And look at the amount of people in the grandstand there for the final ever race around the Malaysian circuit in Formula 1. And getting a lot of people, a lot of publicity here this weekend, Ash. And I think it's great to see. I mean, maybe we can get it back on the calendar in the future. I mean, I love this circuit. I don't know about you. I mean, it would be great for the fans.
Oh, absolutely, mate, definitely. Of course, especially with Mercedes, their sponsors as well, Petronas, based in Malaysia as well. That does attract a lot of fans when Lewis Hamilton and Valtteri Bottas visit there. But our Mercedes drivers here, when they visit there, they get just as much as crowd reception when they go in there. Lots of autographs wanted, lots of pictures wanted, and lots of support given to the Mercedes drivers for today here at Malaysia, although sadly Chris Johnson is not able to race with us because he called in sick just earlier this morning.
So there you go, the Malaysians let down by Chris Johnson. How dare you, Chris? Anyway, we've had Ash Richardson going for a spinner and an out lap, interestingly, so that's not too good for his tyres, but we have got Chicken on a quick one, his Lamaro's teammate. I'm going to stick with Lamaro at the moment because I want to see what he can do. It will be his first lap of the session. We're waiting on Jacob, the Slovakian driver, to complete his lap as well. Neither of them have done a time yet, so they're leaving it very, very late. Lamaro then, currently 16th, and at the moment not looking particularly quick. And this is probably going to be a little climb up to maybe 14th position at best. It's not looked like a great lap from Lamaro. He heads for the line now, and he goes 14th as we suspected, just ahead of JG. But who was it? It was Chicken, I think I saw, his teammate, that was quite far around the track on a quick one. So let's watch Chicken now, and he's looking a lot more settled in that Sauber than his teammate, isn't he, Ash? He looks to be pushing much harder with a lot more confidence in the car.
Oh, absolutely. He's taken a wide line here as well into the final corner, a bit wider than his teammate did actually. And yes, he's did lock up a little bit there at the rears, but he's still made the apex very nicely. Now what's he going to do is he's coming up to the line, 131, 132, 132.0. He stays third, but he did improve just by under a tenth of a second. He's now ahead of Ash Richardson's Renault and behind Pitmat's Toro Rosso, whilst Ivan is now on another hot lap, but he's already still the fastest man on track. Can he improve to stop anyone beating him?
Yep, Skivan then in the Ferrari, pushing hard. The man fresh from his ULC victory, pushing very hard. Look at this commitment he's got through there. Absolutely leaving nothing on the table. And now he runs a little bit wide into the double apex right-hander. And Skivan losing maybe a fraction of time there. Let's have a look at his middle sector as he brakes hard for another very tight hairpin. Gets up to the gears. Matt Meerkat, look at that. He goes quickest in the Force India, a 1:31.6, a shade quicker than Skivan. A fantastic time there from Matt Meerkat. He puts the car amongst the pigeons, fourth in the championship, 20 points off the lead, and all of a sudden he is making a claim to get right back in the championship hunt. But there we have to go to who's furthest round the racetrack. We've got Shimasi out there, Skivan out there, and
Skivan's coming up to the final corner.
Ash has gone third quickest, he's only a tenth away now. Pitmat fourth quickest, a tenth and a bit away. Look how tight it is between the top four. What can Skivan do? Can he go even quicker? He can! 1:31.5. He dips it down a little further. And does he have time for another lap? No, he doesn't. So that is the target. There's no moving target here. Skivan will not have another chance to do a lap. Chicken goes third quickest. And now look at Shimasi. He snatches it in the McLaren. He's been just shadowing them all session long, and right at the end, a 1:31.3 to silence Skivan, to go quickest. A fantastic time for the McLaren driver. Can anyone deny him? Matt Meerkat's out there. Richardson is out there.
Here we go. He's on his way to the line. DRS open. Feel very tight. He's coming up to some. He gets second place in the Toro Rosso.
Now Matt Meerkat.
Now ahead of Skivan again.
Forget Matt Meerkat. He's abandoned the lap. What about Ash Richardson? Ash Richardson's much further round the race. He's going much quicker, I should say, than his previous best. Can he climb up from that lowly 7th place? He's not got much time to make up. Oh, he's throwing it away. He's in the run-off area. Forget it, Ash. 7th is all it's going to be. It's disappointment for Ash Richardson. And now Redback popped up into 6th place. Look how close the top 8 cars are. And Cherry Tupai 4th now. Unbelievable end to the session, and that is it. That is it. Qualifying is over. A frenetic end to the session with so many cars getting within around 3/4 tenths of Shimasi. But there it is. Shimasi with a late time goes to the top here in Sepang. The rain stayed away and Shimasi delivered. He's on pole position with a 1:31.379. Pitmat second, just a fraction off him. Skivan is third. You'll be disappointed to have lost the pole in the end. Cherry Tupai sits fourth. Matt Meerkat fifth, and Red Matt is sixth. Chicken sits seventh, and Ash Richardson is eighth. It's only 3 and a bit tenths covering those top 8 cars. Julian is ninth, and Rooney rounds out the top 10. Ash, give us your thoughts on that.
Oh wow, amazing. He's coming into this race desperate for now to take the lead of the championship again. He's put it on pole position, the best way possible to do it, while Ash Richardson is down in 8th place, I believe it was just then.
Well, it promises to be an absolute cracking Grand Prix. What will the weather bring then as we arrive here on the Sunday in Malaysia? Overcast skies greet us. Rain is never far away.
Looks foggy is still there, Andy. I wouldn't write off any rain or poor visibility here.
Well, you never know. It is Malaysia. Rain can come at any moment. We already have a very tight field.
Just like turning on a tap.
Yeah, exactly. Very, very tight field. Only just under 4 tenths covering those top 8 cars in qualifying. Will that be the same in the race? Are we going to have an 8-car scrap for the victory, or are the likes of Shimasi, Skeven going to flex their muscles, pull away at the front? We'll find out then as the 5 lights go on here in Malaysia. And we are racing! Shimasi leads away from Paul. Pitmat, can he get a run towards the first corner? A poor start from Skeven in the background. He's losing places already as they run down towards turn 1. It's Shimasi in the lead. Pitmat tries to go the long way round. Can he go right round the outside? They all make their way through turn 1 with no major issues. And Pitmat has a look up the inside of Shimasi. Can he find a way through? Side by side they go through turn 3 and down the hill towards the end of the first sector. But it's still Shimasi ahead. Pitmat on the outside. Can he sweep right round the outside of him? He's going to try it. And can he do it? Here goes Pitmat. No, he doesn't. And he gets squeezed out. And now here comes Cherry Tupai. Oh, the 2 McLaren's going to sweep up to first and second. No, they're not. And it's Shimasi leading Pitmat, Cherry Tupai, and the poor starting Skeven. Ash, your thoughts on that?
Wow, that was amazing. Great driving from all 16 drivers there, I will say it. I was also looking further to the back. It looked like everyone got through the first sector very cleanly. Everyone still seems to have their front wing, except for JG2, 13567. He is out of the race already, and we've got a yellow flag just at the start of sector 2. I didn't quite see what happened to him there. I was watching the 2 McLarens at the front, but we're going to have to take it easy through there if we don't want to make an even bigger mess. But we have got more battles towards the front. While Shimasi is pulling away from Pitmat and the other Toro Rosso. Cherry Tupai is now 3rd. Skivan is 4th. Chicken is now 5th. We've got Matt Meerkat 6th. Season VDV, I'm sure that's how you say it. Williams driver is 7th. Ash Richardson, championship leader, is currently 8th. While Julian, OTG, and who was the other one? Red Matt, all having a battle there in the last corner. Absolutely brilliant driving from both. This is just what we want. This is what the fans want. We want clean racing, and we've got it.
Here comes Julian, the Flying Dutchman tries up the inside. You get Redman on the outside of OTG. They're now 3 wide, almost going through the first corner. Absolutely incredible. And Julian makes his way back up into 10th. He dispatches Redman, who tried the risky move on the outside of OTG. It's not worked out. He goes wide, and now Julian, the Flying Dutchman, has a look up the inside of OTG as well, going into turn 4. And can he complete the move? He sure can. He barges his way past and moves up into 9th place. And now OTG runs wide, and here comes Redman through as well. And Jacob too. OTG loses 3 places in 1 corner, and now pegs 1 back on Jacob and moves back into 11th place. Seesaw battle going on there as Cherry Tupai now dropping down. An incredible battle for 3rd. We've got Skeven, Meerkat Chicken, and Cherry Tupai all battling for 4th position, and Cherry Tupai has lost out massively there. He's dropped back from 3rd down to 6th place, so he's dropping back, as is OTG on this second lap of the Malaysian Grand Prix. Fireworks, what a start. Great excitement already, Ash Dawson.
Oh, absolutely. We're only on the 2nd lap of this race. This is amazing stuff from all 15 drivers now remaining in this. Tin VDV up 4 places now, up to 7th place after starting 11th. Fantastic driving from him, keeping it clean, whilst all the cars are so close together on the first lap. And we had a lock up there from Chicken, it was, coming into the hairpin, and he's ahead of Matt Meerkat, Cherry Tupai and Tin VDV. This is a very close battle. Slipstream engage. On the next lap they'll be using DRS, and who knows who's going to be diving into turn 1, trying to gain more positions in the early stage of this race, because as we know, it's dry right now, all on good fresh track tyres, and we do not want rain falling anytime soon.
Well, it's been great to watch so far, and Cherry Tupai attacking that Meerkat. Well, while we were talking there, OTG went for a spin down at the penultimate turn, and his race has been ruined. As now Cherry Tupai running into the back of that Meerkat and damaging his right hand end plate on the McLaren, and that is going to be a nightmare through the middle sector. Let's watch him now as he struggles through there, and now Tyne is all over the back of him. Look at that, can Tyne find a way past Cherry Tupai? No, he cannot. But he's surely going to do it soon. He's going to try one up the inside. That's a mistake. He's going to lose all sorts of momentum. And Ash Richardson pulls alongside and moves up into 7th place. And Tyne, he was too hasty, too ambitious, tried to move early, and he's ended up paying for it. And now Julian is all over the back of him, and they're all over the back of Cherry Tupai. And now Ash Richardson tries an opportunist move on Cherry Tupai. No way through, and it's quickly becoming a real scrap for 6th, 7th, 8th and 9th, And look at that as they go through. Julian trying a late lunge on Ty and his team.
Oh, they've touched and Ash has spun around and he's hit! He's been hit by the Red Bull of Julian. And now he's got a slightly damaged wing as well. Just as I was about to say, they got the DRS, they can then make the move there. Ash went for the inside because I don't blame him, there was space. But now we've got a bit of damaged wing, a dead all over the track. And Pit Matt now sits the fastest lap of a 1:35.5.
I'll tell you something else, it's starting to rain outside my commentary box window. If this race wasn't crazy enough, it's now starting to rain. There you go, you can see the fans in the grandstand reaching for the umbrellas, reaching for the ponchos as time dives up the inside of Jacob. What a battle that is between those two. Incredible action in the midfield. But as you say there, Julian was far too hasty on the brakes. It looked like he was going to wipe out his fellow countryman Tyne. In the end, he went for Ash Richardson, sent him into an amateur spin. Round he went, and then they all just ran into the side pod of Ash Richardson. And yeah, all a bit of a mess really. Julian's damaged the front wing, and somehow Tyne has not. I don't know how they all made it through there. Then Tyne and Jacob went battling through the final corner, and then into turn one. A brilliant piece of action there.
Just Ash Richardson has passed Julian there. Ash Richardson has just got past Julian.
Oh, the banging wheel side by side. And Julian's got real front wing damage as a result of the contact from the previous lap, and he's now under real pressure from Tyne as well. Tyne tries to sweep right round the outside of him. They go side by side in areas of the track you wouldn't expect it, and through goes Tyne up into 8th place. Julian now really struggling with that damaged front wing. He's now going to drop surely into the clutches of Jacob unless he tries another move on his fellow countryman. But no, not this time. He's going to learn from his lesson on the previous lap, and he's really starting to struggle. The rain continues to fall. Well, at the intermediate tyres at the end of this lap, surely a little bit too early.
Ash Richardson passes Cherry Pie.
Yeah, Ash Richardson having a way past Cherry 2 Pie, who's also struggling for grip, with a damaged front wing. And look at the action behind. We've got Tyne and Julian doing battle once again, the two fellow countrymen. And look at Jacob and Redmat. They're all queuing up down the start very straight. To have a look at the back of Tynes Williams. We're nearly 4 wide. We are 4 wide going into turn one. Unbelievable. And Tyne, is he going to hold them off? It certainly looks like it. And look at them all queuing up. Get a move on, they're saying. They're ruining the races. Tyne, Julian, Redman and Jacob all battling on the way down the hill. This is absolutely fantastic stuff for the SRL. Absolutely superb midfield battle in the pouring rain. You just cannot predict the breaking points. It's so difficult when it's a little bit damp offline to find the breaking point in these conditions, and somehow they all found it and avoided contact. Ash Dawson.
Oh, absolutely. Now Jacob has just lost the place there to Redmat, and just on the subject of brakes there, Andy, I saw that Jacob Stowe's brakes very hot. They are glowing orange. Everyone else is seen fine. So Jacob is going to have to, got the brake management here during this race as well. You can just see them there. As he went into the left-hander, very hot brakes. He really can't be doing with that, but the rain, if it continues to fall, will cool it down. Now, further up the field, we've got Matt Meerkat on the back of Chickens 1990. Here we go, DRS open on the back straight. He's waiting. Can he get alongside? He's getting closer and closer. Is he going to make a move to the inside? Not quite. He locks up slightly wide. Cut back, here we go. He's going to have DRS again on Chicken. Here he goes. Onto the main straight. DRS is open. Yes, it is. He's going for it. Is he going to dive down inside turn one? I don't think he's close enough. Braking just under 100 metres before the corner. Both cars lock up. Chicken gets the exit compromise.
Meanwhile, Ash, the battle continues into turn one for 78th, and Tyne is all on the back of Cherry 2 Pie. He's been trying everything. He's been ducking left, ducking right, trying to find a way past, and this is incredible. Remember, it's not only Julian that's got front wing damage, Cherry 2 Pie does as well, and now he's going to hold them all up. So you're going to pretty soon have 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th all in a battle here. Quite incredible. And Tyne again has a lunge up the inside of Cherry 2 Pie. He tried it in the final corner. They made contact. He tried it into turn one, and then he tried it again into turn four. And now, by not getting past, he's got Julian right there. But Julian's front line damage starts to annoy him, starts to bother him, because now Redmat's going around the outside. He bang wheels Redmat onto the grass. And this is getting very, very close to an enormous accident. It looks like it's a certainty because these guys are battling so hard. Tyne is trying to weave across the racetrack to keep temperatures in his tyres. That's Gillian and Jacob to battle now. This is breathless stuff. Jacob round the outside of Gillian and makes the place and moves up into 9th. Red Mac dropping backwards after that slide. He's now got Tiger Cat going past him. He's dropping down to 12. The positions are changing corner by corner at the moment, let alone lap by lap. This is absolutely breathtaking stuff in the midfield. Absolutely sensational. So it's Cherry 2 by 7, Tyne 8, Jacob 9, Gillian 10. Change that again, folks. Here comes Gillian. This is madness. Gillian takes 9, Jacob 10.
Madness in Malaysia.
Oof. Absolute. This is crazy, man. We need to have an ad break. You have ITV a phone. We need to start changing our broadcast.
Team BDV nearly spins it and bins it in the barrier, but he holds on. He keeps going. He's got the DRS open, but his car is sliding everywhere, probably looking for a dry line still. But there, yes, the track is dry, but the rain is now falling heavier. The crowd's really do need umbrellas now. Not only is it going to make the hair go all wet, it's going to make their visibility go as well. They've got to really try and stay dry in this race, and the drivers have got to stay cool, calm, and collected. Because really, you can't afford to make a mistake here at this crucial stage of the season, not when the weather's like this, not when there's so many cars together.
This is extremely frustrating for Tyne. He cannot find a way past Cherry 2 Pie. They are dropping Julian though, who's also holding people up as Tyne goes right round the outside of Cherry 2 Pie.
Great move.
Damage front wing or not, that was beautifully done. And can he now break away from this group and get on with his race? Unfortunately for him, the next car's a mile up the road, the full 3 seconds, as Julian continues to hold. Look how many cars he's holding up. This is incredible. I'll tell you what, he's not going to have many friends at the end of this race. Jacob with an incredibly late lunge. That was never going to work. Oh! 3 of them sandwiched together, and that just looks stupid.
Tiger Cat and Looney.
Tiger Cat, Looney, and Julian all in a sandwich. Oh well, do you want some ham with that one, or some cheese? Well, fire it into the middle of that sandwich, because that was a pretty tasty one, that. And round they all went, and they're all struggling for grip now in that final sector. Has the likes of Cherry 2 Pie and Julian battled on long enough? Is it time for a set of intermediates and a brand new front wing on their cars? You'd like to think so. Is anyone coming in on this lap? No, they continue on in this tricky conditions. We've got another yellow. Why is that?
I don't know. OTG just retired from the session, yes.
He was struggling on those inters. He was, because he was on the inters struggling. Anyway, Julian now under pressure from Tiger Cat. This is relentless, this race. Tiger Cat then right up behind Julian, the same engine in the back of these cars. Tiger Cat has a look up the inside of the Dutchman, who is, I have to be honest, having a bit of a rude awakening here today. Having put on a great performance in Italy, said he was aiming to win races. This afternoon he's been stuck right down in the midfield, scrapping with everyone, trying to hold off cars left, right and centre, trying to overtake cars left, right and centre, nowhere near the pace of the front runners. And Julian really struggling as Tiger Cat tries a very late lunge. That was a bit naughty if you ask me, but he has completed the move. Julian will be a bit disappointed by that one, as now Jacob's gone for a spin at the top of the hill on those super soft tyres. It looks like it's getting a little bit too wet now for those dry tyres, Ash, because round goes Jacob up at turn 4 and he's dropped right back down the field. As Julian continues a battle with Looney now. Julian's getting involved with everyone today. He runs wide and nearly spins off the road, and Looney goes past him. It's got to be the lap for Inters, I would think, Ash.
Yeah, I'm just watching Shamashi now on the back straight. He's got 2.3 second gap pit, Matt. What's he going to do? Is he going to go into the pits for Inters, or is he going to stay out on track on those super softs? What's he going to do? He's staying out on the super softs. Pit Matt, what's he going to do? He's also staying out on the super softs. Ivan, the championship chaser from way back. Yes, he's staying out as well. Matt Meerkat, meanwhile, has just got past Chicken. Chicken is going into the pits. He's off into the pits.
Well, there you go. The first man to blink is Chicken. I can assure you, the engineers on that pit wall will be watching his lap times over the next few laps. Is this the right decision or the wrong one? OTG on the previous lap tried it and it was the wrong one. So it's make or break for Chicken here. Into the pits, the Cyber Mechanics pour out of their garage, and the intermediate tyres are ready. Cherry 2 Pie in too. So up onto the jacks, on go a set of the intermediate tyres for Chicken, and away he goes. Surely Cherry 2 Pie will fit the same compound. Into the pits, up on the jacks. Yep, he will. Intermediate tyres going on to that McLaren car, and a brand new front wing as well, and that was badly needed, wasn't it, Ash?
Yes, absolutely. It makes sense that Chicken went in the pits first, because as we know, chickens don't like the rain. So he's got to put his Wellington boots on and try even harder.
Well.
Meanwhile, up front, Tiger Cart's off the track. He's gone wide at turn 4, and he's lost 2 positions to Looney and Julian. He's now down to 10th in the Renault. It proves now the time is absolutely right for the intermediates. You've got to stay out of trouble, but stay on the track and on the gas, but also be very, very careful. As the field has spread out a little bit now, not quite so towards the back, but at the front it has. And what we're going to see now, as Shimasi is on the back straight, is he now going to finally decide, yep, time is right for Inters. He's still managing the gap to Pitmat though in the Toro Rosso, but Shimasi, here we go, he's got to make sure he gets the best out of his car today and lead the championship. Yes, he goes into the pits. Should be the right decision. Now Pitmat's staying out. Pitmat is gambling. He's going to try and jump him. What's Skivan? He goes into the pits as well. And last time out of the Singapore, Skivan and Shimasi battles for nearly the full race under the lights of Singapore in a very hot, wet conditions. While Skivan gets a 5-second stop-go penalty or time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Matt Meerkat also goes into the pits in the Force India behind. Tin is also in the pits. Red Matt's coming into the pits. Ash Richardson spins on pit entry, but he's got it right again. He's coming into the pits. Tiger Kart spins at the last corner again, and he can't make it into the pits. So he's done it. Julian and Looney are also in the pits. Tiger Kart's got to got to stay out and do another lap on dry tyres. Everyone else makes it in. Chicken now is passing everyone.
Let's have a look at Chicken. We need to keep an eye on this here. How many positions is he going to make here? And he's going to make none, but he might have gained a good bit of time here. Check into the likes of Matt Meerkat. I'm not sure. It looked pretty similar, I think. I'm not sure what the gap was before, but I think he was there on the road before. Well, an 8-4 beforehand, and he will remain an 8-4 after this. But Shimasi has been in, as you say, Skeven has been in. They're all fitted intermediates. That's going to be real trouble there for Skeven with that 5-second penalty. He's dropped right back out of this. And now, the question is Pitmat able to pull away from Shimasi, or is Shimasi going to gain? Pitmat has just went for the gamble. He is in a position where he needs to gamble, actually, because he needs to get back into the championship hunt. And albeit only 12 points back, he wants to make some advantages here, so make some inroads. And I tell you what, Ash, he's building a gap up to 22.4. Ever so slightly. It must be near the crossover point. It looks to me like this might be the lap, or maybe one more. Maybe it's been too greedy to go one more. Is Pitmat going to carry on again as he locks up into the final corner? No, he's coming in.
He's got to come in.
He has built a cushion though on Shimasi, so here we go. This could be very close. Is Pitmat going to turn the tables here on his championship rival? In comes the Toro Rosso down the pit lane. The mechanics head out now. They know this is vital for the race result. So Pitmat comes in. Shimasi is pushing hard into the final corner on those intermediate tyres. What is going to happen? In comes Pitmat onto a set of intermediates. Shimasi, you would think, is going to take the lead as Pitmat leaves his box.
Just as you were commentating on that, Andy, Ash Richardson on the dry tyres got past Looney 8 clean on the track. Who knows what's going on now with the weather? The dry tyres still seem okay. And Pitmat, he won last time out in Singapore, yes, in similar conditions. He's got to do the same performance here. Can he catch Shimasi? Can he take the lead? And can he score more points in the championship? This is what's needed. Tiger Kart, he's still out on the dry tyres. He's not pitted. And Ash Richardson, he finally is coming into the pits.
Yeah. Both Renaults last to do it, and bold move there from the Renault team, but Ash Richardson calls it. Tiger Kart not interested in the set of those grooved intermediate tyres just yet, as Ash Richardson trundles down pit lane at 48 miles an hour to fit a set of those intermediate tyres. Strange strategy that from Renault, isn't it? Obviously we know Tiger Kart had his issues in the previous lap.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see the anxious look there on Cyril Abitbou's face on the pit wall. He really don't know what's going to happen here. Is the rain going to continue to fall, just as DRS has now been disabled from this race? You can't blame that there from Charlie Whiting at all. Here we go then. Tiger Kart, the only one out there now on the dry tyre. He's currently 5th after starting from P13. Unlucky for some. Not unlucky for him at the moment though, unless it all goes wrong. At the moment he's doing okay, and when he pits, he should come out roughly around P11, I would say.
Unless he's trying to hold out for a set of wet tyres, I don't think that's possible by the looks of this. I remember at the Monaco Grand Prix, I think they went from wet tyres to dry tyres in 2016. They went straight from the full wet to the dry tyre, but I don't think you can go from dry tyres straight to full wets. That's just asking for a trip into the gravel trap.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Tiger Kart can do that, so surely Tiger Kart will come into the pits at the end of this lap. He's got Chicken right behind him. He's going to have to admit defeat. He takes the line which suggests he's coming in, And indeed he
Yeah.
does. Tiger Cut. And then on lap 12 out of 28, from what's been a breathless opening for the race, really, Ash, hasn't it? It's been absolutely crazy, particularly in the midfield.
Yeah, oh, absolutely, yeah. Tiger Cut should be taking the intermediates here, because we saw what Kimi Raikkonen did here in 2009. He went straight from the drives to the full wets. That did not pay off for him. He ended up finishing way outside the top 10 that day. But here we go. Hopefully Tiger Cut won't do the same. He comes into the pits. He's taking on, yes, the intermediate tyre. Only 8 now coming down the pit straight, and Julian is as well. But it's actually going to be close now here between the Renault and the Red Bull. Very close.
Meanwhile,
Tiger Cart's coming out of the pits. Julian, he's alongside him, but he's got wide before he puts off by the Renault. And they touch.
Well,
it's very close, but Julian just edges in front for the moment at least.
Redmat's just made a move on Tyne as well at the top of turn 4.
Oh, he has.
Lovely move from Redmat. Easily eases past Tyne. And I've got to keep an eye on the leaders as well. Pitmat is starting to edge that gap down. As you said last week, relishing the conditions in Singapore in similarly humid, hot, sticky and wet conditions. It's the same situation here. Pitmat reeling in Shimasi and looking very good in these conditions. Can he do it before the end? He's got a good 16 laps to try it. But yeah, lovely move from Redmat there on Tyne, but he lights up the rears. And now Tyne is all over the back of him as they head through that final sector now. It's getting really tricky out there, the rain continuing to fall, and usually, Ash, when it rains here, it pours and it requires either a red flag or a safety car, or at least a set of wet tyres. Oh, lovely Tyne, having a look up the inside.
It's got the position.
Beautiful, lovely move from Tyne. Redmat left the door open and Tyne said, thank you very much. Do you want the RSVP with that invitation? No? Okay, I'll go up the inside. Tyne goes straight past him, up into 6th place, and Redmat has a little look back up the inside. Alright, okay, you invited me to that party.
I'll take the invitation back.
Yeah, exactly. And Redmat goes right back through on Tyne. It was a nice move by Tyne, but Redmat used his experience, used his straight line speed and slipstream, without DRS of course, to move up back into that 6th place. But let's have a quick recap then. Lap 13 out of 28 here in Sepang, Malaysia. Light rain falling at the moment. Intermediate tyres is your best bet, and it's Shimasi leading the way, trying to pick up after what has been an a mid-season slump, you could call it. He was brilliant before the winter break, and since then he's been toiling. And is he finally going to win a race and get back to winning ways? Shimasi on top at the moment, but he's got Pitmat, revitalised Pitmat since the winter break, doing the exact opposite of Shimasi, getting right back into this championship now, and really looking for a 3rd successive podium. And can he get a 2nd successive win? Can he overtake Shimasi in this race and get it? It looks like Shimasi's stabling the gap now, so it's going to be a tall order for Pitmat. He sits 2nd at the moment, doing a solid job. Skeven in 3rd position, and what can he do? He had a 5-second penalty earlier on in the race. Can he get back into this and start to put pressure on the likes of Pitmat?
Yeah, it's getting very interesting here at the top, because even if Pitmat does get past Shimasi and they finish 1st and 2nd with Pitmat in front of them, Shimasi will still lead him by 4 points in the championship. Shimasi hasn't actually won a race since Hungary. He hasn't won since Hungary, so he is going to want to keep a winning record. He's still going to want to win more races. Skivan, however, he hasn't won a race since the season opener in Australia, believe it or not. That was his first and his last win this season. He's actually now starting to close in on Pitmat. Is he going to get close between those two? And will they come down the McLaren of Shimasi? Who knows?
Yeah, well, I have to say something else there, Ash. I alluded to it in ULC commentary the other week when Skeven won. It was his only race win in the SRL this year, despite his pace. And he rocked up in ULC for the opening round of the championship in Australia. And what did he do? He went on and won the race. So he seems to have. He told me in his interview after that ULC race that he does not like the Australian circuit. Well, the stats say differently, and that's how he went on. And he's won twice this year, once in SRL and once for the SRL in the ULC Championship. And Skeven trying to build momentum from that ULC win and see if he can get right into this. And at the moment, he looks like the man to beat. He looks very, very quick, closing in on Pitmat and Shimasi. Is he going to be a real thorn on the side of these two come the closing stages of this race? I tell you what, he's going to be a thorn on Pitmat's side pretty quickly. Not at the end of this race, in the next couple of laps, I would think. So it's all to play for the top 3 places. Pat Meerkat is 4th, having a bit of a, what's the word, lonely race, really.
Yes.
Uneventful. 20 points off the title lead and being fourth in the race here with two of his rivals in front of him is not what he needs, as we've run out of races in this calendar and run out of chances to score points. Matt Meerkat needs to be winning these races, and his championship chances starting to fade, and Skeeven as well, and he needs to be winning as well. He cannot have Shimasi and Pitmat ahead of him. Red Mat is sixth at the moment, quite a distance is between them. I'm sorry, Chicken fifth, Red Mat sixth, and he's held off Tyne, who's now 7th and dropping back off him. Looney sitting in 8th position, Julian 9th, and Tiger Cart is 10th. Jacob 11th, and Alfred
one there from Skivan. He's getting
Red
lost time now. Red Mat, what's he done?
Oh,
he's just recovering.
He's pulled off. He must have an issue with that car.
Yeah, I think it's a hydraulic issue there. I've just heard through my. I think it's a hydraulic issue there for that. What a shame there for Matt. He's actually, well, fighting for his seat. He hasn't finished last race either in Singapore. His highest finish this season was only 4th, and that was back in Hungary. It's really a good thing at all for Red Mat.
Well, it's a sore one for Red Mat to take. It was disappointed. Haas were looking at some good points, and I think they're starting to pack up now. Not a good afternoon.
Got the track light there. He got with
really.
the Pit Mat. Yeah,
right.
he just went slightly wide there, coming out of the exit of it was
well, here comes Skeeven, right behind Pitmat, homing in 1.1
turn
gap.
8 it was turn 8.
Between the two, and
Oh,
Pitmat runs wide, here we go!
Pitmat's gone wide! Pitmat's gone wide! Skivan's right on the back of the Toro Rosso! Here we
Here
go
comes
then,
Skeeven.
and the oils!
Here comes Skeeven right up behind Pitmat. Running very wide there was Pitmat. He did a Sergio Perez from Malaysia 2012. And here comes Skeeven. He can smell blood right up behind Pitmat. We said it was coming soon, and it came a little bit sooner than Pitmat would have liked. Skeeven lights up the rear tyres coming out of the final corner and nearly spits it into the barrier. Somehow he picks it up though, and can now really start to shadow Pitmat, put the pressure on, and as a neutral, I'm not supposed to be biased. I want Skeeven to pass Pitmat. I want to see Skeeven versus Shimasi at the end, because right now Skeeven has got the bit between his teeth. The prancing horse is not prancing, it's galloping onto the back of this Toro Rosso. And here we go. Surely the bull will be tamed in front. The Italian bull of Pitmat against the Italian horse of Skeeven. And that Ferrari, as he gets right up behind him, and Skeeven somehow doesn't manage to get past Pitmat there. I thought Pitmat was going to lose that place. As soon as you run wide onto that curb, you're in trouble. And in these conditions, you're in even more trouble when you find yourself on the after
turf. Chicken's gone into the pits again. I don't know what he did. Chicken's gone back into the pits for another set of inters. He's damaged his wing or something. We probably didn't see it.
Either that, or he doesn't feel his current set would have made the finish. So that's another thing we need to consider. Will it be a case of 2-stop, or will it be a case of 1-stop this afternoon? I think we went deep enough into this race on dries not to require a 2-stop. But that's interesting from Chicken, unless he damaged the wing. But I don't think so, Ash. I think that might be a genuine attempt at a 2-stop, you know.
Yeah, possibly so. I mean, this is Chicken's only 4th race of the season. You know, this is only fourth race of the season. He's only done the last 4 rounds, including this one. He's got to go on an absolute chicken run here from 8th place. He's on the fresher inters. What's he going to do? I know tyre wear isn't massively severe on the inters, especially in conditions like this, but he's on the fresher ones. And who knows, maybe he'll have more grip coming from those. His first target is Julian 2395. He's got to catch him. But at the front, Shimasi is, starting to fall back a bit now to Pitmat. Pitmat has got back within 4 seconds of the McLaren. Shimasi, I'm sure, is getting fed information of Pitmat and Skivan battling there. But Pitmat now is absolutely rapidly closing on the McLaren Honda. Is there a problem with that McLaren? I would hope not. While Skivan is not giving up. He can smell the blood, as you said, Andy, coming from that junior bull in front of him. Further back, the closest battle we have now is Julian and Looney, just as Looney makes a mistake there, coming out the penultimate corner. And here comes Julian. Can he catch him? Into the final corner. He's a bit too far back. You've got no DRS here. You've got to do the work all yourself, while the Chicken is on its run, like I said, catching the Red Bull and the Mercedes.
Well, yeah, Julian right onto the back of Linney. Can he find a way through? Here he comes, closing. It's showing me he's on dry tyres on my screen. Obviously he's not, because he'll be floating off the road as he now comes up behind Linney, going into the first corner. Let's see if he can line him up through this middle sector. It's been a very eventful race thus far for Julian. He's been tag turning into, making contact with people and going side by side through just about every corner on the racetrack. So it looks like it's about to continue. He might want to dispatch Looney very soon because Chicken is on those fresh intermediates and he's going to get right on their tail quickly. So Julian can see this as an opportunity to give himself a buffer to Chicken by getting ahead of Looney. So a real opportunity here. But I tell you what, come the end of this race, Ash, looking at the way the times are going at the front, these front three are going to end up in a three-way battle because they're closing right up. Pitmat's catching Shimasi and Skeeven's catching Pitmat. They're bunching right up.
Yes, and these two are absolute hots for the championship. I know Ash Richardson, he's way back in 11th now, so he's no matter to these three front at the moment. These two, as long as they keep it on track, Ash Richardson will be in serious trouble and will have a lot of work to do in the championship. Just as in front, we got a lapped car there. I think that was Amaro. Yeah, there was someone going slow. Yes, it was Amaro. I thought it was Shimasi for a moment, but no, it was Amaro. But yes, as you said, Skeeven right on the back of Pitmat. Pitmat not quite on the back of Shimasi, but he'll be closing in slowly again. He knows he can excel in conditions like this, and we've all seen it. We know what he's capable of, but he needs to use the best of his talent. We all know how good it is, but I'm sure Skeeven does as well. And Skeeven is going to be keen to think, yep, I'm better than that. Just as Looney 8 goes into the pits once again, and Chicken is now on the run to catch Julian with no one else anywhere near that. He's going to be hunting down that little prey.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, the Dutchman of Julian, his heart would have been broken there when he seen Looney come into the pits. All hope of keeping Chicken back has just about been destroyed, because here comes Chicken on those fresh intermediate tyres, and by the fact that Looney and Tiger Kart have now come in, you've got to wonder, they must be going for fresh intermediates. This is very strange, they've not been on these tyres all that long. So,
yeah, exactly.
Are we going to see a mixture here? Will some of the leaders attempt the two-stop, and will some of them try the one-stop? And it will make for an interesting conclusion.
Jacob Stowe's in the pits as well. Jacob Stowe's in as well. Again, 4 intermediate tyres. Are they really going for inters? It's Tiger Kart. What's he doing? Has he selected the wrong strategy or something, or what? Yes, the clouds are starting to clear slightly, but there's still rain falling down. You can't go on the dries just yet. And we've seen that in professional F1 racing from all around, and also other leagues that you may have been watching before. Just as Tyne on the Inters nearly spins it. And if Tiger Kart saw that on the big television screen just as he came out of turn 2, he'll be thinking, holy crap, this is not good. And Skeeven is also in the pits in the Ferrari. What's he doing? He's getting fresh intermediates.
Well, look at the state of his tyres. He's going to have to wait 5 seconds. I thought he might have served it the previous occasion, but I've just seen those tyres coming off. They are shot to pieces.
Absolutely,
yes. Shot to pieces. So
indeed. Mauricio Rivabetti and Sergio Marchioni, when they see those, they'll be like, what is our car doing to the rubber? It cannot go on like this. We cannot do this anymore. It's not acceptable.
Julian. Julian's in the pits, that's why. And Tyne's in too. They're all coming in.
Tyne's in the pits as well.
The tyres are not going to last. So there you go. Some of the field attempting the two-stop. What will the likes of Shimasi and Pitmat do? That promises to be a fascinating thing there. Who will blink first? It's going to be a case of who blinks first. I think the more likely scenario is Tiger Kart spins on his softs directly in front of Shimasi.
And Tyne, whoa, nearly takes the front off Julian on pit exit.
At the pits. Goodness me, very close they are. But Pitmat
and Tiger Kart's now retiring. Tiger Kart's retiring.
Well, that was always
I don't know what's wrong with his car. He's out.
Well, that was crazy going out on those tyres. That's got to go down as the disaster of the season right there for Tiger Kart. His race is run, and now Ash Richardson, crucially for him, is now in the points. He's going to get 1 point for his efforts this afternoon.
And he's right on the back of Jacob Stowe as well. He's right on the back of Jacob Stowe's Ferrari.
Let's have a look at that then. Here comes Ash Richardson on at the back of Jacob. Can he double his points tally for the weekend from 1 to 2? That's what he'll do. Did you get that 9th place? He tucks right up behind the Ferrari through the rooster tail of the Prix. All he can see is the red flashing light from the back of that Ferrari as they go into the first corner. Ash Richardson takes the better line into turn 1. Jacob, a little bit.
Shimasi and Pitmat are both in the pits, Andy.
So
the leaders are in the pits.
I'm surprised by that. I thought Pitmat would have tried a different strategy. I thought that Pitmat would try something different, or Matt Meerkat. I thought one of them would try something different, and in the end, they've chosen not to do that, and parity will be restored as a result. They obviously fear Skeeven on those other tyres, but remember, Skeeven had a penalty.
Skeeven's just rounding the final corner. Skeeven has not got the advantage here. Shimasi and Pitmat, yes, because of the penalty. That's why, Andy. absolutely right.
And look at
Matt
Ash, though, he's
Meerkat
right behind Jacob.
is still behind Skivan.
Look at
And
Ash, right behind Jacob.
Oh,
He's
yes.
going to have to do the move now. Julian and Tyne are doing battle as well, but we'll stick with Ash Richardson right now. This is crucial for the championship. He needs to put a move on Jacob, and he can't put a one on him yet. Meanwhile, Julian and Tyne do battle down the main straight.
Oh,
we'll
that's
that
getting
battle.
very hot there in the conditions of Malaysia.
The two Dutchmen, no love lost between those two. They're battling like crazy. Down into the final corner, Tyne against Julian as they go out of the final corner, up towards the start-finish line. A battle for 7th and 8th. It might be 6th, 7th and 8th soon as Looney continues in front of them. Here comes Tyne, right up behind him. Ash Richardson still behind Jacob as well. Here on lap 20 out of 28, it's been a thrilling Grand Prix. And Tyne hits Julian and
Oh, a little bit of a touch there. Ash Richardson, however, is he going to make a move to the inside? He will.
No.
If Jacob goes wide, he hasn't gone wide. In fact, it's the championship leader Ash Richardson going wide, just as his brakes there are heating up.
Great run for Ash Richardson coming out of the final corner. I don't know how they got it. Jacob made a hash of it on the acceleration, and surely now Ash Richardson will go straight past the Slovakian into the first corner. He's not gaining quickly though, and there's no way through. He'll travel round the long way, take the karting line, getting right up behind the Ferrari.
Inside there, turn 1.
No way through, and now they go out of turn 2, through the long sweeping turn 3 towards the end of that first sector. Now Ash Richardson's got a far better run. He's closing and closing and closing onto the back of Jacob. Will he make a move into turn 4? He again thinks better of it. He's got a championship to think about. He's got a championship to think about, and he cannot go diving up the inside and damaging the wing just yet. But in my opinion, he really should be thinking about doing that because Lamaro is 41 seconds behind. So even if he does end up damaging the car, I don't think he's going to lose too much time. He's still going to finish 10. And even if he doesn't finish 10, he's only going to lose 1 point. It's worth going for a lunge on Jacob to get 2 points. And it's been
he's losing a lot of points to his main rival as well. He's losing a lot of points to Shimasi, who's pulling away from Pitmat at the front. The fresh tyres seem to be paying off for the McLaren Honda, and Pitmat has just got no answer. Skivan isn't closing in on Pitmat either. We thought this lot were going to have a promising battle for the win in this race, but since those pit stops, that's not going to be happening. The main battles are in the midfield. Closest ones on track.
Oh,
We've got Ash Richardson on Jacob, so Jacob's gone wide at the second to last corner. Jacob, he's holding back, he's just on the CJ Paris from 2012. Ash Richardson now wanting to keep holding the championship lead. It's not going to look good from so far, but he's gained another point. This is absolutely crucial for the Renault. Now, he's a long way off time, so I think what's best now for Ash Richardson to do in the Renault is just keep it on the track.
Yeah, absolutely. Ash Richardson doubles his points tally from 1 to 2. And that was crucial, as you say, but it looks like it's going to be all in vain. His championship is going to be thrown up in the air by a resurgent Shimasi. Lap 21 to 28. Let's have a quick rundown of the order. Shimasi leads by 4.4 seconds to Pitman in second. He looks like he's been toying with him a little bit in this Grand Prix. Skeevan, after his penalty, is too far back in third now. That looks set in stone. Matt Meerkat is fourth, also set in stone. Chicken is fifth. Looney sixth, some way back from Chicken, with Julian in seventh and Tyne in eighth. That looks like the main battle on track at the moment. As you said, Ash Richardson a mile back from Tyne in ninth position, 2 points. He's got to consolidate what he's got, and as you say, keep it on the island. Jacob 10th and Lamaro disappointing 11th place for him and way down the order. But yeah, Ash, we've got a few laps to go just yet, but can I ask you, a driver of the day, could you nominate 3 drivers at this stage, do you think?
Oh, driver of the day, let's just look at the position change to see what we have. Position changes, well, there's not much to say really. I would probably put it to Shimasi just for keeping it on the track and staying out of trouble. Yes, he came in the pits. We didn't think he needed to, but he did. But it seems to pay off for him, and he's pulling away from pit mat. And it's at a crucial stage of the championship where he's got a massive amount of pressure on to deliver. I'm sure he'll have been fed the information about Ash Richardson back in 9th place and way off. So that probably relieved a bit of the pressure off Shimasi. Although Shimasi knew that he had to keep it on the track in wet conditions in Malaysia to hold on and score yet even more points on Ash Richardson, just like he did last time out in Singapore.
Yeah, it's looking very good for Shimasi here. It looks like he's going to finally steady the ship. Ash Richardson's recent charge is coming to a halt, and it looks to me, Ash, like he's going to be left having to do it all again. And Shimasi, with some serious troubles in Belgium and in Monza, starting to find his feet again as we enter the European leg of the season, the final jaunt on the Formula 1 calendar. After this we head to Japan, then we head to the USA, Mexico, before we head down to South America for the Brazilian Grand Prix and rounding us all off in Abu Dhabi. And Ash, I don't know about you, but I would love, absolutely love it if we could still have 4, maybe even 5 if Stephen can get his act together, fighting it out in the final race and pretty much replicate what we had in the actual Formula 1 Championship in 2010.
Oh yes, that was brilliant to watch that. Although from what you said, maybe even 5, including Skivan, he is behind Pitma and Shimasi in this race. So I think he'll need a miracle really to get in contention within the championship. He'll need next time out, or even in the last 5 laps of this race, for Shimasi and Pitma to have trouble. And then therefore Skivan will be right into the game, despite finishing, only around 50% of all races this season, it seems. Yeah, maybe even less than that. I'm not very good at percentages. But on the track, we've still got stuff to talk about. We've got Julian on the back of Looney out last corner. Both are sliding a little bit. Julian in the Red Bull is right behind the Mercedes of Looney 8. It's going to be close as I ride on board now with Julian here at Supreme Racing League Race Control. But he's taking a wide entry into Turn 1 after locking up only slightly. But Julian, he's had a bit of an action-packed race so far. He's been tip-tap, 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 touching here, front and rear, all the way, hitting people.
I like that. I like that. Touching here, front and rear. That's brilliant. I love that.
Thank you, Andy. Thank you. And I'm sure Julian's going to like it too. I hope he doesn't slap my backside for that, but I'm sure he will love me when I say, well done for keeping it on the track. Here he is, behind the Mercedes, but he has dropped back a bit. He's going to have to wait probably for the next time they go round to the final sector, because as you said earlier on, Andy, that is the best time to overtake, best place to track to overtake.
It's going to happen here. Look, Looney's a little bit wide, and Julian gets a slingshot out of the corner, and he's all over the back of him. They go down to the braking point for the hairpin. Julian forced to the outside as Looney covers the inside, side by side. The Mercedes hangs him out to dry, but Julian drives round the outside of him. Absolutely wonderful driving, using the karting lane to absolute perfection. He sweeps round the outside, and the Flying Dutchman moves up into 6th place. That was poetry in motion, Ash Dawson.
Oh, absolutely. Poetry motion, you're absolutely right there, Andy. Brilliant stuff. Whilst Julian kept control of the rear of his car, I'm sure Looney 8 will be letting out a tear in his car. That is not what the Mercedes driver wanted, especially as he's the only Mercedes driver racing today. Toto Wolff will be thinking, unbelievable for that to happen this time, while Julian will be off into the distance, onto the main straight, just like Shimasi is off into the distance from Pitma at the front of the field. It's been a good race so far. We've still got just about 4 laps to go, and yes, most of the field are spread out, but I think the best battle to watch here and now is Looney 8 and Julian, because I can imagine Looney 8 in that Mercedes will not be giving up. He'll be hearing the howling coming from the Wolf of Toto from the garage as he gets back within a second of the Red Bull, while the Bull will be charging away, possibly.
Yeah, absolutely. And Ash, I've just noticed something else. It's starting to dry out a little bit, so that makes me realise that is why these drivers chose to fit a new set of inters, because they'd have burnt them out so much if they kept on the current ones that they had. They'd have burnt them out to the point where they've been risking punctures. So that explains why they had to fit new intermediate tyres. Julian makes an error. And now Looney's on him again. This is a role reversal on the previous lap. Here goes Looney now. He retakes the place. Julian throws it away, and Looney goes straight back past the Red Bull. And all of a sudden, there's a huge cheer from the grandstands, because there's a Petronas Mercedes car moving back up into 6th place. And of course, Petronas, as you said at the top of the show, Ash, big sponsors here in Malaysia, and they'll be absolutely loving that. The Petronas Towers here. And Ash, I got to ask you, did you head down on Thursday when we were touring the city in Kuala Lumpur? Did you head down to the Petronas Towers? Did you have a look?
What was that? Sorry, I didn't quite catch that in my headphones.
I said on Thursday, did you head down to the Petronas Towers in Kuala Lumpur? Did you have a little look?
Oh yes, I did indeed. Sorry, thank you very much. Yes, I did indeed see that. But the drivers were looking happy and confident. They were brave in their speeches. But here on the track, as Julian got ahead of the Mercedes, Jeremy Horner was singing from the garage, tell me what you want, what you really, really want. And the Mercedes took what it wanted from the Red Bull back up into 6th place. And yes, it's a shame Chris Johnson isn't here to help his teammate, but Looney is doing a fine job, and I'm sure Chris Johnson and Toto Wolff and everyone else at Mercedes-Benz will be watching this with pure joy if he can keep it in front of that charging, raging Red Bull.
I'll tell you now, imagine if Chris Johnson was here, how would he have fared today? Would he have been up in the podium places? He's Quite possibly would have been, as Looney now under pressure from Julian. We've got a yellow flag in the first sector. Who is off the road? It's...
yeah, I can't see anyone off the road. Ash
No.
Richardson back in the pits again.
Yeah, and that will mean he will lose that 9th place, I think. He will.
Yes,
Jacob
he will.
takes
Jacob Stowe. Not doing anything.
Maybe he's going for dries, or maybe he feels that he was going to get a puncture if he carried on. One of the two. We'll find out in a minute.
To be fair, the front tyres there, from what I can see, do look pretty well worn. And yes, they are. And he is taking the super soft tyres. He is taking the super softs.
Well, the likes of Pit Matt and Skeven try to surprise Shimasi by trying something different in the closing lap.
Well, Julian looks like he's going to
the
surprise Looney. He's back on him again.
He's back on him again. There's been a ding-dong battle between these two, Mercedes versus Red Bull, and here comes Julian. He's been in the thick of it from the start of the race right to the very end. It's been a topsy-turvy battle for him. He's been in the midfield throughout. He looks right up behind Looney. Will he dive for the inside? Can he do it this time? He failed.
Yes, he has. The Mercedes has gone.
Yep, he slid off and done a Perez, and off goes Looney. That's the third car to do that this afternoon. But Looney gets a great run out of the corner because he was so wide. And now we can have a right good look at the back of Julian's Red Bull. The Mercedes power.
Chickens in the pits, chickens in the pits. They're going to gain again. They're going to gain some more points, mate. They're going to gain some more. Chickens in the
going to go
pits.
for drives. Obviously, these guys need to pit for drives. Are they risking it for punctures here? This is not over, even for the guys at the front. Is it because of punctures, or is it just genuinely too dry? We'll find out though, as we are on lap 26 and a 28. We're in for a thrilling finale. It's going to be a case of we do not know what's going to happen. Looney has a late lunge on
that's
Julian.
so close!
Somehow they do not make contact. It's a miracle.
From the car.
A miracle they don't make contact. And Looney somehow does not send Julian into the gravel trap down the turn one. Absolutely crazy how he stopped that. But Julian stays in 5th place. So now, will Chickens surely catch these guys and overtake them again? I would think so. But the question is, can the leaders stay out to the finish? Do they risk it? There's so much pressure on Shimasi Pit Matt here.
The skies, you're starting to see a bit of blue skies there through the crowds. And right now, yes.
Do they stay out?
Did who stay out, sorry?
Do they come in or stay out? What does Shimasi Pit Matt do? They stay out. Well, Shimasi does.
Yeah.
Will Pit Matt do something different?
No, Shimasi Pit Matt saying out. Skivan, I think he'll stay out as well. To be honest, he don't want to lose more points, does he?
Well, the question is though,
Matt Meerkat
will he lose
9.8
points?
behind.
Will the enters not be that slow? I mean, my point is, Ash, there's a possibility these guys could hit punctures. There's a possibility that these guys could be really struggling at the end. That's what I mean. I mean, is it worth somebody trying something different? I mean, for Matt Meerkat in 4th position, for example, he's got nearly a pit stop pushed to Julian. So if he pitted for a set of super softs...
Well, he hasn't. He stayed out.
Yeah, I know, he should have, but because... Oh, I'm not saying he should have. I'm saying it was a good idea to try something different because he was not going to lose any time.
Looney's made a slight mistake. Looney's made a slight mistake there in the penultimate corner. Yes, that ends that hope. While the team principal of Red Bull, Christian Horner, is married to a Spice Girl, Looney 8 in a Mercedes cannot catch the Spice Bull here at Malaysia. The Red Bull thunders off as the rain has cleared away. And looks like he's going to stay in 5th unless he gets a puncture, like you said there, Andy. Matt Meerkat, he's losing more time to Skivan up in front. And Shimasi is just doing his job really well. Doing Ron Dennis and Zach Brown very proud. And I'm sure Fernando Alonso will be watching this race from over there in America as he prepares for the 24 Hours of Daytona. He'll be watching this with a proud look on, just as Zamaro in the Sauber gets in the way of the McLaren. What you doing, my friend? Goodbye, you're on the dry tyres and you're not any faster than the McLaren Honda on the intermediate tyres as we head towards the final lap of this amazing race.
It's been a fantastic race. It's been topsy-turvy, especially in the midfield from start to finish. Shimasi then rounds the final corner to start the final lap. He is Ash Dawson's driver of the day. If anyone else is watching on the stream, feel free to comment. Let us know who your driver of the day is. The sun gleams down now on Shimasi as he starts the final lap here in Malaysia. If I was looking at a driver of the day, you know what, I'd have to agree with you. He has been brilliant. He has been absolutely magnificent. Could you name a few others? I mean, Stephen got a penalty again today, so you got to go for Pit Matt maybe. And then who else? Julian's been in the thick of it from the start, hasn't he?
Julian's done fairly well, I must say. Julian has done fairly well. I've got to give it to him.
Give him a nomination.
Looney 8 as well. Yes, I know he's lost out to Julian, but him and Julian both started in the same places. You know, for the start of this race. Yeah, both up 4th place from the start. They started 9th and 10th. They're now 5th and 6th.
So what will we say then?
Shimasi,
Julian and Looney, that's our 3, do we think?
Yeah, I'd say so. I know it says Lamaro's gained 4th place, but he's running last. Very last. He's got no hope.
He's only gained because of a race of attrition. He's not actually moved up any places as a
No,
result of an
absolutely.
overtake. So yeah,
I know.
yeah,
I know what you're saying. Yeah, I know what you're saying as well. And if he's looking at Manisha Kaltenborn there, because I've raced for Sauber before, as you know. I once drove like that, and she threw me over a knee and slapped me backside. So I'm pretty glad that Lamaro's not getting the same here in Malaysia.
Well, here comes on that bombshell. Let's end this race. Here comes Shimasi coming out of the penultimate turn, heading now towards the final corner.
Keep it steady.
And here we go, Shimasi to the final corner. The McLaren mechanics have left the garage. They're heading for the pit wall. It's been a long wait for Shimasi since the winter break, but he finally gets back on top here in Malaysia. He wins round 50 with the championship. Fantastic drive from him. Pitman is going to come home for a crucial 2nd place, but he was hoping for better. Skeevan only 3rd. His championship chances dying away here. The same has to be said about Matt Meerkat. Are his championship hopes beginning to disappear as they run out of races?
All in frustration.
Yeah, so Matt Meerkat 4th, a long way back is Julian in 5th. He's 37 seconds back from Matt Meerkat in 5th. But he's been in the wars, he's been in the battles all race long. Him and Looney have had an incredible duel at the end of this race, amongst other battles in this race. So they're going to be 5th and 6th. Or are they? Because look at Chicken on those super softs. Will he get to Looney before the end? I doubt it. Too little, too late. You were right.
No, he won't.
Enters to the finish was the best call. And Chicken's lost out massively as a result this afternoon. So Matt Meerkat has seen the line in 4th. Julian is going to come home for Red Bull and see the line in 5th. So he comes home round the final corner for 5th place. Looney will be 6th, and Chicken will be infuriated 7th after that pit stop error. Tyne is going to be 8th, and Jacob 9th, and Ash Richardson has already seen the line in a disastrous 10th place. A real dent in his championship aspirations, isn't it, Mr. Dawson?
Oh, indeed, absolutely. Ash Richardson, pretty much a disaster class, you know, not just here in the race, but also yesterday in qualifying. You know, P8 in that, P10 in a race. That really wasn't what he needed when he was only 1 point ahead of Shimasi in this race. Shimasi from pole to the win, and he didn't quite set the fastest lap of the race, but he certainly did well enough to just win the race and score 24 points over Ash Richardson. So he's going to be 23 points ahead of Ash Richardson, and he is now leading the championship for McLaren Honda, and I'm sure there'll be a little bit of party and celebration tonight in Malaysia. Well, it may be not quite so much tears at the Petronas Tower just down the road, but Looney, yes, he's done well for the team today and scored just a good amount of points there, while Chris has sadly been away.
Jacob sees the line in 9th. The last man to hit the line. He went for a spin actually on that final lap, but he doesn't bring it home. But here we are then for the podium presentation. Shimasi, our nomination for the driver of the day, alongside Gillian and Looney, who both made up 4 places. But there he is. The hoodoo is over. Shimasi back on top. No wins since Hungary. Since 2017. His first win in SRL in 2018, and it's nearly February. But there you go. The champagne is sprayed. Pitman up there and Skeevan as well. They'll be disappointed. They've lost out to the championship rival, Shimasi, who wins here in Malaysia. Be sure to join us next week. We're heading to Japan, and Ash, that promises to be a cracker. We love Suzuka, don't we?
Oh, it's fantastic, yeah. And tonight was Shimasi's 6th race win of the season, the most of anyone. And what a time to score his 7th next time in Japan, possibly on the home grounds of Honda. That will be absolutely wild in the streets of Japan, partying after the race. And also, he's currently championship leader, so he's got more pressure on him to deliver next time. It's been a good race. My personal driver today is Shimasi, but who's yours? Let us know in the comments and our poll on Twitter. And until then, we'll see you next time in Japan. Thank you very much.
Yeah, see you later, guys. It's been a cracker.